Filter a TV News. Here we bring you filtered news, the most crucial you want to hear. If this is the first time to come across this channel, please subscribe and share to your friends and well-wishers. In this channel, we do not castigate or abuse any person or persons, but produce the news for educational purpose based on how it was originally intended. Now, there is a strong information that today's news carries based on the trending publications. Here we have chosen that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which comes with a strong question. Is this case politically motivated and witch hunt from the Nigerian government over refusal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to bow out of Biafran agitation? You are free to air your opinion in the comment section. Again, do not forget to subscribe and share. Do you support the view that the judge handling the case, Justice Omotosho, to step down if you see the trial as political? Do you agree that Justice Omotosho to clarify the constitutional framework that mandates Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be tried on the basis of constitutional law, which he insists that has been repealed? You are free to air your opinion in the comment section. You can also get help from the interviews of 3 prominent speakers in this very program to help you air your opinion and comment. But before we go on, we will look at what the man concerned, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has to say concerning his led agitation, comparing it with what the 3 prominent Igbo leaders or Igbo politicians have to say. If there is difference, then we note where the lapses are coming from. But if they are the same, then we will now project if this is politically motivated based on whom they can be able to hold responsible. Then this time it is important to invite the international community to act and act effectively. But as United States is the leader of the international community, whatever action they may take may represent what others may support later. Now let us hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what he has to say.
Everyone together to say this is all. Others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust?
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened, 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's, reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else? What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with.
After this, we will then listen to Senator Abaribe. As he speaks, please listen and listen attentively during this interview, because you are making assessment of what is going on and why the case is termed political rather than the criminal trial they are carrying out to fulfill their own haram, which is the basis of their trial. Now listen.
The actions and the policies of this government, present government, is turning everybody into a Biafran. So, and I just looked at that statement. What did he mean by that statement? He just said, everybody complaining about injustice, everybody complaining about marginalization, everybody complaining about the rampant nepotism, everybody complaining. So I stand with my people.
Even if it is IPOB, you said you stand against injustice.
Against injustice,
but
with
even
my
if it's
people.
IPOB or anything.
There are several groups. One of the biggest, I'd say, problems that the media also has is that they tag everything IPOB. In the Southeast, you won't believe it, that there are more than 30 different separatist organizations. IPOB, MASOB, there are so many.
Which of them?
And each one of them comes back to the same thing. But I have also said to myself, Civil War ended in 1970. By 1979, somebody from that enclave, from the same place, from the Southeast, Dr. Alese Kwame of blessed memory, was a vice president of this country, which showed that there were people who were able to manage the diversity of Nigeria. Why you're having separatist agitations everywhere today in the West, in the South, Side, and all that, is that some people are unable to manage our diversity. That is just the fact.
I mean, Senator,
yes.
You've not told us whether or not you psychologically or physically or intuitively support IPOB.
Why do you want to know whether I support IPOB?
Okay.
I want to know.
I want to know whether you ideologically also...
It looks to you...
No, I'm asking because you've not answered it. That's why I'm bringing it back again.
Let me also say this. It looks to me like you want to put everybody in one bracket. This one is an IPOB ban. This one is a Mason.
I'm just asking a question, Senator.
No, that's what you're doing.
I'm just asking a question. If you do, maybe ideologically you support...
I have asked you, I have said, there is nobody from the Southeast that I know who does not feel that the way that people from the Southeast are treated today. That's why I brought back what happened immediately after the Civil War. Treated today. Do not feel that there is something fundamentally wrong, which should be resolved. And unless it's resolved, you will always have this.
When we get to that issue, do you regret standing surety for Nnamdi Kanu?
Not at all. I've even said in another interview, I think it was on TV, said that if the secretary had the same thing today, I will still stand surety. Because, Sean, what was the problem? What exactly was the problem? you feel that you're being unfairly treated. And at every point that you try to make and say, why don't we talk about it, you're being blocked at all points. And then, of course, if you're a youth, you erupt. That's what normally happens. What happens is that you come in and do a dialogue with people. President Yaradua, at the point at which the Niger Delta was burning, the oil pipelines were being broken, and oil production had fallen to an all-time low, didn't go in with guns, didn't go in to say, let us kill everybody, let us jail everybody. He opted to say, come and tell us what the problem was. And that largely resolved the issue up to today. So why is it that the government of APC today has an aversion to dialogue? Why? What is it that makes any time that the Southeast is mentioned, hackles are raised? What is it about this particular government? And that's why I went back to say there had been other governments, including Fulani governments. So what is it about something?
So let me ask you, Senator, what, because people generally speak about the Igbos being marginalized.
These are the points he is making and why the government of Nigeria wants him dead. We will then watch the senator. Please, as he is speaking, please make your notes because you are going to use that note to make your own inference and decide if this is a politically motivated trial on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or not. Let us hear him.
There is a general lack of empathy about the sufferings of people. There is a general, I would say, closure of the space for business and every other way that people see when they live in a country. At the point at which, even as at today, there are more police checkpoints in the southeast than in the northeast, where the problems are, than in the northwest. You will never believe it. You go from one city to the other, from Onitsha to Owerri, several, you will see up to 10, 20 checkpoints. Why? Why are people being subjected to the fact that children growing up at school age, one will have to score 300, another one will score 2 in order to be able to go to the same school? Why? Why would the local importer who needs to bring his goods and able to raise his money and do his business, all the ports in the eastern coast, starting from Warri, Koko, Port Harcourt, One, Calabar, and all that, be non-viable? And the insurance rates are higher. The cost of bringing it is higher, so you have to move through Lagos. So somebody who now needs to do his business has to move it by land, costing so much. Why is it shown that there is a master plan for railways and efforts and monies are borrowed to do standard gauge lines on the western corridor. And then you're told that on the eastern corridor, which starts from Port Harcourt and goes all the way to Maiduguri, because it goes through the heartland of the south, it shall say, oh no, what we're just going to do is to rehabilitate the old one, forgetting that in the same railway master plan, they are supposed to meet somewhere. So how would a narrow gauge intersect with a standard gauge, assuming that you want both of them to meet somewhere so you can move out goods and so forth? Why? And when questions are asked, you are now seen as a troublemaker when you ask those questions. And then we turn around and say, but okay, and elements of this government are very, very quick to run to a default position. So we know the default position. Oh, PDP, they were thieves. Yeah, and so that is why. How?
Senator,
I mean, you.
Finally, we will listen to the lawyers or the consultants at ease now. They will speak from what they have observed. They were conducting the trial, and now they become a consultant to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
the Kanu protest and the agitation for the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu, how do you view it?
It is a legitimate demand. And I support the protest. Many Nigerians are in support of the protest. And my position on this has been clear, even from when President Buhari forcefully took him away from Kenya. As far as I'm concerned, Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything that will warrant his detention for 5 years. Nnamdi Kanu, there is no evidence to show that he killed anybody. There's no evidence to show that he carried arms.
That's for the court to determine.
And
that is in trial.
But if the courts are keeping somebody for 5 years and they have not been able to try him,
is that illegitimate?
Of course, the court. You can see. Hasn't the court decided on this matter when it came to the issue of his bail before the Court of Appeal? He was discharged and acquitted. So as far as I'm concerned, you started with the court. Sheung, I, like most Nigerians, are not persuaded in any manner with what is going in the courts. And I will not also be persuaded, whatever judgment, either way or the other, that comes out from the courts. Because there is a deliberate attempt, and I say so when President Buhari was in office. There are people who have committed heinous crimes in this country. They have murdered people, they have kidnapped people, they have raped women, they have killed children, they have done all sorts of things. There are people aiding and abetting them. There are people who have gone to their domain, talking with them. We are aware of helicopters dropping food, dropping ammunition in the bush, which of course our security had the capacity to trap. Sheung, Nnamdi Kanu did not do any of those. But he's in detention. What was the cause? And I told President Buhari, it was because of the ancient hatred you have against the Igbos. I told President Buhari when he was in office, my position has not changed. But why I'm worried, you're looking at me. I told him you had ancient hatred against the Igbos. That was why he kept Nnamdi Kanu there. If he was from another tribe, Nnamdi Kanu will not be there.
Are you dispassionate about this, or you are speaking because you are of the same extraction?
Good.
Because there are those who oppose, who don't have the same view as you have it tonight about the situation. There are those who ask questions about those who have taken opportunists on the situation in the South is based on the order, the radio broadcasts, the publications, and the statements that are being made online. You know what has happened with the man in Finland that has been prosecuted. As soon as that man was being prosecuted, the sit-at-home order and some of the mayhem being unleashed by opportunists of the agitation of Biafra stopped. Southeast started experiencing under this government some level of peace.
Shehu. What I'm saying, I said it to a sitting president. Whether people agree or not, Shehu, you know those that loves you. You know those who hate you. It's not because I'm Igbo. I would have taken the same position if a Yoruba man or Fulani man was involved. My patriotism has no limitations.
What do you think that
Just
government of the day... apology. What do you think the government of the day who felt that a region consisting of 5 states is under consistent attack and is in distress and is insecure based on the action and the statement of one person? What do you think they could have done differently?
You see the matter? President Tinubu did not cause this problem. He inherited it. President Tinubu has no hand in the detention of Nnamdi Kanu. But what is curious is why he has not taken steps to get him out. He has no hand. He didn't take him there.
As a lawyer, you think how easy would that be to establish a non-prosecution on a matter of national security?
What is the national security? These are things that people manufacture to justify their positions.
Nnamdi Kanu is facing one of the highest criminal offenses.
And that is what? And that is what?
Terrorism charges against him.
Can you define terrorism?
No, that's what for the courts to tell.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And all the others, all those people that did all the things I aforementioned, none was charged of terrorism. I have explained to you, Nnamdi Kanu has the right to demand peacefully for anything for his people. I am not saying because I'm from there. And that was why I have said it before you. President Tinubu, get him out of this. He has no hand in it. But he's in a position to rectify it. He knew the truth. Why has he not done so? You see, people are talking about some interest group. People are saying, don't release him. It will disbalance this, disbalance that. The truth is that Nnamdi Kanu, as we said that time to President Buhari, go and discuss with Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have to look for him in this manner. This is somebody, look at what is happening today. He did not talk to anybody. If he was outside, they say he has sponsored everybody. Okay. Showore that is taking this thing on his own now, based on his struggles. He's not an Igbo. You were not able to tell Showore this because he's not Igbo. If it was Dawanya, you say, hey, he has come. So we should forget about all these mundane issues and considerations. What is bad is bad. What is not good must be condemned no matter who is involved. President Tinubu, yes, we agree there are some people in the Southeast who do not want Nnamdi Kanu out.
Really? There are people like that?
I can say it authoritatively.
Who are those?
There are some top businessmen who are involved in businesses in Abuja, oil and all that. There are some top politicians who are of the view, and which is correct, that if Nnamdi Kanu comes today, there are people whose political career will come to an end permanently without him saying a word. Nnamdi Kanu has been loved by the people. It's like when they were chasing Fubara. You heard me say so here. I told President Tinubu, if the issue about 2027, the person to do business with is Fubara. Are you seeing what is happening there now? They have loved him, they have loved him. Organic support. Nnamdi Kanu need not talk to anybody. That was why I'm sure that is the pressure that the president is having. But the president is number one. He is the president of Nigeria. And he's the only person that can say, stop, it will stop. You don't have to take everything that everybody puts to you, hook, line, and sinker. When the issue started with this insecurity in the Southeast, they raided the prison. We came out to say, no, this was not our deeds. Those people were imported. Security came back to realize it. But what happened next? Because they have been exposed, they decided to recruit urchins, non-educated people, people that are not skilled. Locals started training them.
Are you an IPOB apologist?
No. Look.
I
don't expect you to.
Are you a believer?
No. I don't expect you to come to that question because you know that I believe in Nigeria.
But I'm asking you, you might have your. You might have,
no.
You might have an apology for the struggle of Biafra and what IPOB stands for.
I am an open book. You'll always know where I am.
You know the history of IPOB.
I believe.
You know the history of IPOB.
What's the history?
There are those who say legitimately it started off as a peaceful intentions or right about the agitation of the Igbo.
What brought about IPOB?
But what happened?
No, what brought about IPOB? Chenwu, you have a region that has been marginalized. They've been crying for marginalization. It wasn't during the time of President Buhari. President Tinubu has tried to do one or two things, put some infrastructure, move some money there. You say you don't want them. Chenwu, you say you don't like me. You say you don't want me. Okay, allow me to go home. You say I will not go. One must give way. It's either you bring me at the center or you let me go. We should stop pretending in this country. That is what you are talking about. The people are saying they are marginalized.
What is marginalization? Can you mention one thing that...
Let's look at your dictionary.
No.
Say what you know.
In practical terms.
I'm coming. There are no federal presence in the Southeast. The little we are having now is other Tinubu. Cease. None. No good roads, no infrastructure. You borrowed money. President Buhari borrowed money to build rails up to Mali, another country. None crossed the Southeast. But we are paying the loan back. We are part and parcel of repaying the loan. And you say it is justice. They have the right to protest. You can't beat and flog a child. You still stop the child from crying.
What would have been
the best? The child must cry.
What would have been the best?
There is something fundamentally wrong, which should be resolved. And unless it's resolved, you will always have this.
We will get to that issue. Do you regret standing surety for Nnamdi Kanu?
Not at all. I've even said in another interview, I think it was on TVC, that if the circumstances are the same thing today, I will still stand surety. Because, Sean, what was the problem? What exactly was the problem? You feel that you're being unfairly treated. And at every point that you try to make and say, why don't we talk about it? You're being blocked at all points. And then, of course, if you're a youth, you erupt. That's what normally happens. What happens is that you come in and do a dialogue with people. President Yar'Adua, at the point at which the Niger Delta was burning, the oil pipelines were being broken, and oil production had fallen to an all-time low. Didn't go in with guns, didn't go in to say, let us kill everybody, let us jail everybody. He opted to say, come and tell us what the problem was. And that largely resolved the issue up till today. So why is it that the government of APC today has an aversion to dialogue? Why? What is it that makes, any time that the Southeast is mentioned, hackles are raised? What is it about this particular government? And that's why I went back to say there had been other governments, including Fulani governments. So what is it about something?
So let me ask you, Senator, because people generally speak about the Igbos being marginalized, but that is a very general term to describe the agitation on the minds of those who say Igbos are being marginalized. What is this marginalization in specific term?
I ask another question, Sean.
We hear them, after which you make your conclusion on what you understand that is going on. As you are doing so, please do not forget to share this video, like, and subscribe. Again, going back to the case, is it really correct that the Constitution supports Nnamdi Kanu? If so, he is being persecuted with Islamic word haram.
Than legal. That this is a matter for the executive branch to settle with a political sleight of hand. It's not a matter to be offered to the limited wiggle room of a court of law, of the judiciary. There is a lot of wide bat, a lot of wide space left for politicians or political leaders of this country to resolve political issues that border on agitation. Why this one has become intractable is very, very, very disappointing. There's a thesis that has become intractable because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That thesis is becoming more and more valid by the day.
While doing this, the U.S. has a third eye watching what is going on during the trial. United States President Donald Trump is not backing off. He is watching and has already given a sound warning on corrupt judges. The question is the inducement of Justice Omotosho by Tinubu and his group amounts to corruption? Will U.S. hold Tinubu responsible alone, or with Justice Omotosho and Awomolo, all of Yoruba ethnic group, who constituted themselves as prosecuting agents for Muhammadu Buhari to justify the Muslim ticket? Or is President Tinubu protecting his new empire in Biafra land? This we will treat another day. It is important that President Trump understand the level of injustice against the Igbos in Nigeria and passionately fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is important to every lover of freedom, the international community, and also Biafra at large. Like the speakers, the injustice has lasted so many years, since 1966, totaling 59 years of consistent oppression against a nationality that gave economic power to Nigeria. Please continue to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Like stated earlier, it has been observed that President Tinubu has his own personal agenda. This is why he wants the prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be fast and swift, because he has to execute his own personal agenda on the basis of emergence of Trump, the President of the United States in this case. President Tinubu believes as a Jagaban, he can maneuver every of his steps against injustice. Once again, we have to understand that President Tinubu is in a hurry now to put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison, but forgetting to realize that God is with him. He's a prophet sent by God who speaks and it happens. To Tinubu, time is fast running. That is why he is forcing his brother, Justice Omotosho, and the Prosecuting Council, also his brother, Awomolo, to act speedily. This is why Justice Omotosho overrules all applications or submissions presented by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even during the time of his counsel, and also now that he is acting for himself. Unfortunately, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Chukwokike Abiyama of Ndigo, of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, is now raising standard against Tinubu and his cabals with the following battles. Trump government threatens sanction against judges in Nigeria and other nations, engaging in a targeted and politically motivated witch hunt. President Trump has not backed off of this. Justice Omotosho is being watched and watched closely. Again, the issue of massacre of Christians, which those who are defending Sheikh Gumi, Sultan of Sokoto, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Muslim ticket never voiced their words against the massacre and Islamization agenda. Now that a powerful nation is threatening to ask Bola Ahmed Tinubu to give details of what has been reported. Now all of them are coming out to speak from both sides of their mouth. From above analysis, you can understand now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is political and fall into the premise of United States President's warning of motivated witch hunt and politically targeted trial. They do not, especially the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do not take Donald Trump seriously. He thinks by giving warning to the judges, by telling the judges that they will not come into America is the basic. No, I think Donald Trump, the President of America, should change that mentality and carry out a stringent measure against the presidents, the politicians, and the judges, because all three are working together to manipulate the system in Nigeria. Instead of refusing visa to them, anyone found culprit has to be extradited to United States to face his own trial, as they are doing to lower class people in Nigeria. They need to have the same measure against them by country that is most powerful in the world. The United Nations are too liberal and not politically active. Therefore, United States being member of United Nations Security Council has right to force whatever the United Nations failed to do. The above-mentioned measures, if carried out, will stop the judges and politicians that are involved in bribery, corruption, and mismanagement of the Nigerian resources to restore the lost accountability. It is important, therefore, that we understand what is going on about the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the manipulative measures being carried out by Nigerian state. Thank you. Do not forget to share this video, like, and subscribe. While your opinion and comment is highly, highly respected. Thank you. Till we come to you with another edition. Bye.